Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been a little bit since I posted a video. There's been a lot going on. So first of all, it's super hot outside today, so I'm a genius for wanting to film outside. But you can see a little bit of his water right here. I've got Ridgely's splash pad set up. He's playing in the water, but it's like upper 90s. We have an excessive heat warning today, so yeah, I decided to film outside. But mommy looks crazy today. But anyways, so I cannot remember exactly what day I posted my last video, but it was my pregnancy announcement video, and I kind of I've left you guys hanging like the last month with no updates, because it had to have been like right after I posted that video. It was toward the end of July. I started getting like allergy type symptoms, sneezing, runny nose, like a little bit of a sore throat. And I thought, oh, I've got some allergy stuff going on. It's the time of year for that. No fevers or anything like that. So I was just like, okay, maybe this will get better. Well, after like a few days of having that, it very quickly seemed like it got down in my lungs, and I was having like coughing that I could feel like, you know, in my upper lungs or whatever, having like lots of gunk, like, you know, sorry for the details, but lots of productive coughs. Like, but it just kept going on and on. So I'm the kind of person, I don't like to go to the doctor unless it's like absolutely necessary. Something's really wrong. And I was also just holding off because I wasn't having fever. If I would have been having fever, I would have gotten kind of worried, because it's not good to have fevers when you're pregnant. So let's see, long story short, like, I did a couple COVID tests at home just to make sure it wasn't that. Those were negative. But I just kept toughing it out at home. But it was not getting better. And it was getting very annoying with the coughing. Wasn't sleeping great to begin with because of the bellies growing and whatnot. But I had this going on for over 2 weeks. And one day I was coughing, and I coughed so hard that I had something pop like under in my ribs, and it was so painful. I'd never experienced anything like that before. I don't know terms or whatever. I don't know if there is like ligaments or whatnot in there, but I think it's ligaments, not muscle. I don't know. Anyways, I popped that, I think, on a Monday, and it like instantly put me down. Like, I could not move like hardly at all without like shooting sharp pains. Sleeping was, there was one night I think I slept like 1 or 2 hours. Like, it was really bad. And so that was on like a Monday, I think, when I did that. And by Wednesday, just a couple days later, I decided, okay, it's time to go in. So I made me an appointment at urgent care or whatever, and went in, and they diagnosed me with bronchitis. And like I said, at this point, I felt like my bronchitis was starting to taper off. I felt like it was getting a little bit better. So I hated to go in, but the rib thing was like unbearable, and I didn't really know what to think about that. Like, if I knew I don't think you can like break a bone maybe from coughing. I don't know. Anyway, so they gave me some different meds, which I did not. I didn't want to take anything because I'm pregnant, but I kind of was at the point I needed something. So they put me on antibiotics and like prednisone. Ridgely, no, go play. No, honey, I didn't want water all over me. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. Hey, no, don't do that. Mommy didn't want water all over, honey. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna be wet the rest of the video. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad my phone was in my pocket because I'm filming with my phone. Ridgely, don't do that anymore. That wasn't nice to Mommy. I didn't want to be splashed. Anyways, I got all my meds. Also, I'm also like losing track of my dates. But before I went to the doctor for the bronchitis thing, I had my glucose test because I was like at the 24-week mark or whatever it was, where when you're pregnant, you have to do the glucose test to make sure you don't have gestational diabetes. So I went in to do that. I had to drink the sugary drink. They told me I didn't have to fast, but I actually did anyways. I drank the sugary drink, went in, did my 1 hour glucose test, and didn't think much of it. I passed it with flying colors the first time around with him, so I wasn't worried about it. And I found out like a day or two later that I failed my glucose test, and it was very frustrating because they had like the range of what they wanted my sugar to be in, and it was like, I forget what the low end was, but 139 was the high end of what they wanted your sugar level to be within. I was 140. I was 1 point above their scale that they wanted, and so they let me know, okay, your sugar was a little high, so we're gonna need you to come in to do the 3 hour glucose test. So yeah, but okay, by this point I'm in the middle of having bronchitis and all that. 1 or 2 different times I had to reschedule when I was gonna do my 3 hour test because I was still sick, and I had it in my head that I was like, I don't want to go in, have to be sitting in the doctor's office for 3 hours with a cough and whatnot. And I also had read, I was curious about it because I don't know anything about blood sugars really, but I looked it up, and if you are sick, it can cause your blood sugar to be elevated. So I don't know if that's why I failed the 1 hour, is because when I went in to do that test, I was just starting to get sick. It wasn't really down in my lungs yet, but I even told my doctor that day, I said the allergies were like kicking my butt that day. And he said, oh, you can take Zyrtec and blah, 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 whatever else he told me. But I wasn't taking anything for that. But anyways, so I got bronchitis. With my rib thing, they told me that it's just when you're pregnant, your ligaments and your muscles and everything are looser because they're stretching and whatnot. So it's like very common, or it's not like odd that I popped this rib. That's what I keep telling people, is I popped a rib. But boy, it hurt. So it was almost a week after I had popped this rib. I think I was almost done with my rounds of medicine. I still had this lingering cough, which I actually still have it. I'm like a month into this, and I don't know if you guys can tell from my voice. My voice is kind of hoarse. But anyways, so my immune system is just being pregnant, where typically I'm not a person that gets sick a lot. So it's been extra annoying, but sorry I keep jumping around. There's been so much going on, so and now the sun is popping all around. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was like nearly a week later after I'd popped my rib, I redid it again. I was coughing and it popped again, and like a little bit of a different area. It was almost like just like on my side instead of on the front. It was down on the side. Re-popped it. I was down for about a day. Luckily this time around it didn't put me like in like as much like agony or pain or whatever as the first time, because man, I don't want to compare it because everybody's experience is different, but so when I was in labor with him, I got an epidural, and so I got my epidural right as I was getting like starting to feel some good contractions, but this rib thing, I think hurt so much more than the contractions I was feeling when I was in labor. That's how bad it was. Just like shooting pains. Like a lot of the times it wasn't even because I did anything specific, no specific movement or anything. It would just tense up, and it would just, I mean, I couldn't even like talk or any, it was just bad. I'm glad to be mending right now. It is still very sore. Like I said, I still have this lingering cough, even though I've been done with my meds now for almost a week. But this stuff, like this bronchitis thing, it's just been lingering really bad. And then the rib thing, I don't know. It's been rough the last month, but it's getting better. The cough's getting better. The rib is still very sore, like when I cough, and it has like, all I have to do is just barely push on my side, and I can pop it. It'll go flip, 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 flip. So I don't know if that's normal, but I just never experienced anything like that before. But and I'm hoping I don't re-pop it. So I've been trying to take it easy, but it's very hard to take it easy when this little guy is running around. But thankfully I've had family helping to keep him. There was like a few different days there where I had my mother-in-law keep him because I just needed the rest. I hate to admit that I need help. I am a person that doesn't like to ask for help or admit that, you know, I'm sick, and I think I probably need someone to help me. I've just never, but that's how not great I was feeling was. So anyways, I had some help from family to keep him on my worst days. But anyways, so that was like the last day of July was when I took my glucose test. And like I said, I got sick and I had to reschedule. So I just went and did my 3-hour glucose test. Today is August 20th. I just went and did it like 3 or 4 days ago. It was sort of annoying. It was kind of what I expected. I went in. I had to fast. They told me to actually fast this time. Don't eat anything. All you can have is drink is water. So I went in like early in the morning. They drew my blood to check what my sugar was like from fasting. And then they gave me the sugary drink. To me, the sugary drink I had to take for this time around was double the amount of sugar as the first one. The first glucose test you take is 50 grams of solution, 50 grams of whatever it is. And then the second time you take 100 grams, but it's the same size bottle. Anyways, they tasted exactly the same to me. I just downed it. It was fine. But then they had to draw my blood every hour for 3 hours. So we were at the doctor for a total of like 3 hours, a little bit longer actually. But it really wasn't bad. Like the waiting in between each hour wasn't horrible. I didn't feel bad. So me and my husband, I'd go get my blood drawn, and then we'd just like walk around the hospital campus or whatever you want to call it. And then we'd go like sit in the car for a little bit, and then I'd go back in for my 1 hour to get drawn. So long story short, went and did that. I have not actually talked to my doctor at my doctor, at my OB, I rotate through all the doctors. So I don't have a specific one doctor. I see everybody. It's just so you can get familiar with all the different doctors. So whenever you do go into labor, you aren't surprised with like, who's this person that's going to deliver my baby? You've met everybody. So I kind of like doing it that way. But anyways, I have not talked to the doctor that ordered my glucose test, but I got my results via email a couple days ago, and the results look really good. So I don't have the picture right in front of me because it's actually on my phone and I'm filming with my phone. But my sugars for the fasting and for each hour that they drew it was like perfectly in the range that they wanted. So like I'm like 99% sure that I'm okay, that like I don't have gestational diabetes, And all of my sugars from that day were all, I think the highest one that I had from my 3-hour test was 116, which I told you for my first test it was 130 or 140 was my, I don't know what happened. I think it's because I was sick, starting to get sick on my 1-hour one, and that's why it was elevated. That's what I'm gonna blame it on, because I don't know what else to blame it on. But I'm so thankful that my 3-hour one, the results look good. Today is a Sunday when I'm filming this, so I'm assuming my doctor will call me tomorrow and tell me over the phone my results. But like I said, I saw it via email and I think I'm good. So as of right today, no, as of yesterday, I am 27 weeks along, and so that means I'm almost to my 3rd trimester, which is wild to me. I just can't believe it's already like clicking along this fast. But that's what's been going on the last month. I've been sick and then worried about my sugar. But everything is looking up now. My only thing I can complain about right now is that my back hurts. When I have to do much of anything, doing the dishes is like a killer. I can't stand at the sink for longer than like 20 minutes or something, you know, without just having to go take a break, because my back just aches. And I'm not even, I've still got, you know, 3 months left, so yay. But let me show you guys my belly, and this has been a long video, but I've just been wanting to tell you guys what's going on, and that's what's going on. This is probably not the best angle, but anyways, there's belly. He's still been, like, all through this sickness and stuff, I've been so worried because, you know, coughing like super hard and stuff, it makes you worry, like, ooh, am I like hurting my baby with all these coughs, and especially like with the medicines I had to take. But he seems okay. He kicks around a ton. I swear he kicks around like a lot more than I remember him kicking around. So there's that. But a cricket?
Yeah, it was in the water.
A cricket was in the water?
Yeah. And it can't bite.
No, crickets don't bite.
Oh.
Did you help him out of the water so he could jump away?
No, he came out of my hand.
Oh, he jumped out of your hand?
I need to find another one.
Okay. So anyways, that's my current pregnancy update, and I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, even though my subscribers keep going down. Thanks for hanging around here, guys, and listening to me blabber. Hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!